Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to do a down, I call it down and dirty, but adjust this Dobeck 4 fuel controller. I'm outside. As soon as I crank this razor up, one of my shop dogs, a killer Shih Tzu, is going to start barking, but we'll try to deal with it. Anyway, I'm going to have to hold the, I'm using an iPad 3 for a camera. I just have to hold it because my stand just won't work well in here pointing to where I need to. So I'm going to try to talk over the exhaust and the dog and show you a quick how to use the controller. Alright, first thing you want to do is you want to crank this thing up. Crank it up, go warm it up before you do any of this. And then you come back and you put it in neutral, and you can set most all of it just sitting here in neutral. The only thing you'll want to change down the road is what's called cutout, whatever they call them, cut in, cut out, whatever they are, switch points, and basically that's just where the controller goes from yellow to red. So quick explanation of that is, if you want to cruise down the road at 50 miles an hour in the yellow zone at 13.5, say, air-fuel ratio, and you want wide open at 13, a little bit slightly richer wide open, then while you're cruising, you don't want it at 13. It uses a little bit more gas. So if you're cruising and you see that your gauge has a red light lit up, then you just simply go hit the mode button until the yellow and the blue blink, and then you move the switch point either left or right, whatever you need to do to raise it up to where it'll run into yellow. But basically this is just how to set the green, yellow, and red zones. Alright, I'm going to switch the camera around to view. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is set the idle. But you actually set it with it in neutral and above idle about 2600. I say 26. Basically, you just hit your mode button till the green flashes, and you're going to set it till it runs smooth right here. More or less, that's about it. Alright, mine's running smooth at 2600. I let my foot off of it, and it's going to idle about where I set it, 12, 5, 13. Alright, setting for cruise. If you're going down the road 30, 50 mile an hour, just not wide open, you hit the mode button till the yellow lights up. I've got mine set at 13, but if you want it richer, you set it. But I like 13 and a half for cruising. Alright, you wait for the light to quit blinking. It goes back into reading mode. Let's just go set it for wide open. Wide open, I want mine 13. If it wasn't at 13, you just move the left button or the right button to where you want it. I want 13 for wide open. Wait for it to stop blinking. Goes back to reading. Alright, for switch points, well, at least I can explain it with the camera off. Switch point is if you're cruising down the road and you see that the red light's lit up and you're just cruising, you don't want it running 13 during cruise because you're using a little bit more fuel. So you would come in here, let's do it now. You come in here and make it to where the yellow and the blue was blinking, and you just change it up or down. And the numbers now represent nothing. It's just you'll know that you're moving it up and down. Alright, yellow and blue. So you're just moving it up and down. And I bumped mine up because I was running in the yellow, in the red when I didn't want to, so I just bumped it up. And like I said, that's kind of down and dirty, but at least you get the point of it. Hopefully I hadn't confused you. I mean, it is the most simple fuel controller I've ever used. It's also just so simple that it's sometimes hard, but basically it's this. You're setting green, which is idle, right above idle with it in neutral. Alright, and it's basically, it don't care what the air fuel ratio is as long as it's running good. And And the reason we do it above idle is because the throttle plates are closed at idle and your air is coming through the idle speed control valve. Alright, yellow is for cruising. That's for any, 10, 20 mile an hour on up, 50, whatever, in that range. Anywhere you park throttle, you'll be in the yellow zone. And so I typically run mine about 13 and a half in the cruise, and a wide open about 13. Some people run 12 and a half. But whatever you feel like is necessary, and then you just click the mode button, go over to red, and then use your left and right arrows to set your air-fuel ratio to whatever, 13. And again, you have a cutout from green to yellow, yellow to red, and so forth. Instructions are pretty decent on that. But the cool part is now the mine's set, and I set it all right here without ever moving. I've tested it, obviously, and go drive, and in those zones, it holds it right where I told it to set. So if I were to put a pair of cams in here, pipe, intake, whatever, and if I was in agreement that those air-fuel ratios were good for even the modifications I was doing, and in my opinion they would be, then I don't have to go back to the fuel controller, because it's going to notice the change from the modifications through the O2 sensor and start adding or taking away fuel, whatever is needed, simply based on the input from the sensor. So my opinion has been this is the best fuel controller you can buy for a RZR. If you don't need the ignition function of the power commander, for the other 500 RPMs, and most people really don't. I mean, the difference on my personal RZR is 77 to 80 miles an hour, and I race cross country and I never get out of the 60s probably, and so as I always say, the only time you're going to go 80 miles an hour is when your buddy comes over and say, hey, how fast that thing go. So, but anyway, that's kind of down and dirty on the install we did a little earlier, and the operation of it. If you have any questions, give me a call here at Hunter Works, and be glad to help you. Thanks.